What is up, everybody? To Reverse TV today, and it seemed like this is the textbook's definition of better late than never at this point because Sony is releasing a new DualSense controller. Well, I guess the battery's gonna be a lot better for this new controller. They're calling it a DualSense V2. It's a list that's showing up at Best Buy saying, "Hey, this new controller has 12 hours of battery life," which is a great thing. But I'm just wondering why it took so long for them to do this, because the PS5 controllers are known for being so short and they die like within like a few hours. They have had that reputation since like the PS3 or PS4 generation of having these super short battery lives. Like I believe even the Nintendo Switch controllers last a lot longer. The Wii U one as well. It's like Nintendo makes better controllers that last longer than the PS5, PlayStation in general. So. And we know like Xbox is the standard, so I don't know why PlayStation had this issue. Maybe because they're focused on these stupid features like haptic feedback and you can blow into the controller to do stupid nonsense that nobody cares about. But they have had a horrendous battery life, but they're just now fixing the issue. They're giving a better battery life. And we already know about the DualSense, the dual joystick drift situations. Hopefully that's fixed too. So. But this person states that stick drifting is a real issue, not the battery. And I gotta agree. The drifting is always terrible. It's like, they have to replace 2 controllers already because of the whole stick drift with PlayStation. So, I would say by now that should be fixed. Especially since they have that you can drive cars with the controller. that stick drifting needs to be definitely fixed by now. I have been getting 12 to 14 hours from every DualSense I've had since day 1. That's a lot of cap right there. That's BS. 12 to 14 hours. Okay. Each time I play with my PS5 controller, I got to charge that thing like every few hours. So people be saying they got like these 14 hours. I don't believe it. I'll pay for a better battery even though it should have been standard. I agree. They should have did this from the get-go. That's another thing that annoys me about the Sony fan base. Like, how do you not be annoyed that the battery is just so trash with the PlayStation controllers? They just don't complain about that when it's like the competition from Nintendo and Xbox have better battery life. But you know, Sony guys don't care about that. It seems like so. Let's see. Hooray! Finally. Sony is getting praised for the bare minimum stuff. Like, this is what the controller should have been from the get-go. Like, you're releasing a brand new device, but your controller battery still sucks from multiple generations of just having sucky battery life. You know, like, I won't even praise Sony for this, but it's kind of like this should have been the standard. Your battery life is just horrendous. Like, you should have had a better battery life at this point. Exceptional 12 hours. Play and charge kits for Xbox offers 30 hours, and it's a 14 mAh battery, long lived to double A rechargeable batteries with days of gaming. Yeah, it lasts a lot longer, even rechargeable battery packs for Xbox. What is Sony's excuse? Like, I just don't get it. I guess the whole, like, your controller can light up is why it's draining so much battery. It's just ridiculous. Sony dropped the ball with this controller. It's perfect when it comes to how it feels in my hand, but stick drift is annoying. I had one PS4 controller and I never did that crap. Yeah. And some people still want to know that the PS5 had no stick drift issues. Like, they're the exceptional one that when they had played their PS5 DualSense, they didn't have any issues. When I have to replace multiple controllers at this point, at least 2, and that is really annoying. Because they're $70 a piece, and that money can be well spent on something else other than replacing Sony's faulty nonsense controllers. So, my 6-year-old DualSense 4 definitely feels like the battery has started to wear out, but it lasts 12 hours. Okay, so that's the PS4 controller. I doubt it. Once again, since like PS3, PS4, PS5, the battery life for those controllers has always been trash. So the only time they actually had better battery life was when it was actually wired. So that don't even count. So I guess. Is it just battery improvements? Yeah, that should have been the standard, but they want you to pay for that better battery life, which is I mean, I don't know if people would expect more. It's like you got to pay for the better controller with the better battery life at this point. 12-hour battery life shouldn't have been the standard because the Switch Pro controller can last 24 hours. That's what I'm saying. Their competition is way better with making better controller battery lives. But Sony, they're just now getting a somewhat good standard of 12 hours. The battery life is the only thing I don't like about the PS5 controller. It's really, really bad. It's the thing. It's better. I immediately get one. 12 hours for Sony equals 3 hours in real life. Okay. 12 hours? It should be 30 plus. It really should. F these controllers, they get stick drift within a few weeks. The battery is already good enough. That's a good joke. The battery for these PS5 controllers are terrible. It's like, that's just another reason I prefer to play on Xbox. At least with Xbox, it's like you get a good battery life, where you can just buy different brands of batteries, or you can buy a rechargeable battery, and they're still better than the standard PS5, the standard PS5 battery life. So that's cool. That sounds cool. Hope 12 hours becomes the norm. It should have been that way from the get-go. Am I the only one who has no issue with the battery life? Yeah, if you got it constantly plugged in, I guess it wouldn't be the issue. But if you want to actually move away from the PS5 without having it plugged in, then it's a big issue. I was like, if you just have it plugged in, you might as well go back to the whole wired era of gaming, like PS2. It was just, you just had no choice but to be wired. That's what it feels like with the PS5, because the battery life is just that trash. But yeah, it kind of feels like I'm repeating the same thing at this point. Yeah, hopefully this thing becomes a standard. It just sucks you gotta buy a brand new controller to get the standard of 12 hours, was what it should be, to be honest. But, you know, that is Sony for you. They're just finally now catching up with everybody else. It just amazes me how the fan base for this console, like, I own one, but I'm not like a super fan of the PS5, but the fan base who are diehard don't complain about the battery life, which is just fascinating. But, you know, I'm going to conclude it right here. It seems like they're trying to somewhat fix it. Once again, as the saying goes, better late than never. So, I guess that's going to be the situation for this controller. But definitely see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like this video, and as always, thanks for watching, and peace.